Hi, it's been a while. In case anyone wondered what happened to me and why I haven't uploaded in so long, the hard drive I used to make my videos broke down and stopped working. You see, I edit all of my videos on an old MacBook, which can only hold so much storage while making these things. This is why I've been using this drive for over 4 years now. And even if it was constantly corrupting my files, you'd be surprised how this thing's been going strong for this long. But, like all things, it couldn't last forever. I tried replacing it with a discounted HDD that I got from Lazada, which also broke down after making like 3 videos on it. I learned a few valuable lessons that day. Number 1, never edit your videos while your drive is formatted to exFAT. And number 2, never buy hard drives from Shopee or Lazada, because they're all fake, no matter how legit they perceive themselves to be. Eventually, I begged my parents to buy me a solid state drive, which works much faster than hard disks and has been recommended as the type of hard drive to use for video editing, even if they're like 3 times as expensive. Hopefully, that means I can finally crank out more content now without my hard drive constantly dying on me. I guess. We'll see how long this thing lasts. On the personal side of things, 2024 has not been a great year for me. I dived into great detail about this in my Studio Ghibli video, where I also mentioned that watching Hayao Miyazaki's movies for the first time really felt cathartic after a series of personal troubles that I got into up to that point. During my channel hiatus, I did a bit of some soul searching. As it turns out, I might be showing signs of borderline personality disorder. According to what I've researched, it's when a person has difficulties controlling intense emotions and tends to be impulsive in their actions. It also deeply affects one's self image as well as their relationships with others. And that's pretty much just the basics. I must clarify though, I am not officially diagnosed with BPD just yet. As I've just said, I might be showing signs. This is why I'll be dedicating a good chunk of the next year to getting myself psychologically checked and treating this disorder. That is, if I actually have it. In the meantime, I want to take this opportunity to discuss the current state of my channel, as well as some of the videos I have planned for the next year. I've been replaying a lot of Tomodachi Life recently, which is a game that I played a lot when I was a kid. Eventually, I caved in and also bought Miitopia for the Nintendo Switch, and to my surprise, I've been spending just as much time on that game as well. During this time, I began to contemplate what kind of video I want to make for my YouTube comeback, and I came to realize that, up until now, I have not done a gaming video under the Natsumi name. Well, I mean, yeah, movies is literally part of my YouTube handle, but gaming videos get more views than movie videos these days, so whatever. I'm in a mood for trying out new things, making videos about things that I myself am deeply passionate about. And these 2 games just seem right up my alley. So sometime in January, I will be talking more about these games in depth. They're very interesting to discuss because while they're sort of obscure Nintendo games that most people probably haven't even heard of, they're also well known enough to have their own cult followings. The script's already finished as of this upload, and I bought a capture card for my Switch, so I'm really excited to dive into these more later on. I've also been trying out OBS for the first time as well. Guess I'm now one step closer to becoming a Twitch VTuber. And don't worry, I've got a lot more reviewing everys coming soon. After I get my Me Games video up, I'll be reviewing every Linkin Park album, including the one that just came out, From Zero. Linkin Park has always been one of my favorite bands, and to me, they're pretty much up there with Green Day as the bands that truly got me into music. I've always had a soft spot for this band, even the albums they made that lots of people aren't huge fans of, so I've got a lot of defending to do. I also plan to do reviewing everys for other musical acts, including Weezer, Kendrick Lamar, and the Beatles, just to name a few. I also really want to try doing these for filmmakers as well. Anyone interested in career retrospectives for Quentin Tarantino or Paul Thomas Anderson? I also have a very big video planned for next year. Actually, it's not just one video, but multiple videos I have been working on for quite a while now. When I rebranded to Natsumi back in 2022, you might recall that I mentioned working on a retrospective for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, the one movie franchise that everyone likes to mock these days for making the blandest cookie cutter slop imaginable. Yeah, this may come as a shock to some of you, but did you know these movies used to be good? Most of them, at least. And I've been planning to revisit these movies for a long, long time. And now you might be wondering, why now, all of a sudden? Well, you see, I was busy with another long-running massive corporate franchise from the other side of the world, and I wanted to finish my business with that first before returning to my roots. There have been millions of videos complaining about the MCU at this point, and I want to stand out from the rest by doing the polar opposite. I'm gonna praise the MCU. Look back on the Infinity Saga a little more fondly, but not too fondly to the point where it feels like I'm glazing a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Make no mistake that the first three phases of the MCU are genuinely really good. And I have a lot of childhood memories associated with those movies, and I'm very excited to share those memories with you all. But yeah, this is gonna be another multi-video series dissecting another franchise I'm obsessed with. But instead of mocking school idols and their overly unrealistic musical numbers, despite having a soft spot for them deep down, I'll be mocking superheroes and their overly unrealistic visual effects, despite having a soft spot for them deep down. I like to call this the rise and inevitable fall of the MCU, and I plan to kick this off next summer, going all the way to 2026, covering the entire Infinity Saga with Phase 3 split into two parts because of how chunky that whole era is. I'll also be discussing the Multiverse Saga, but well, let's say they'll be more like footnotes, because that saga's not over yet, and also because shitting on it is beating a dead horse at this point. Lastly, I want to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I know the third season of Love Live Superstar is ongoing, and my work with Love Live is not yet done, surprisingly enough. And from the looks of it, it looks like I'll be talking about this franchise one way or another until my dying days.
Till your dying day.
Don't worry, my thoughts on the season are on the way. And those are really just the main courses. I also might make more Portal parodies if I'm bored, considering I just finished the Spider-Bloke trilogy. It's been 5 years since I made that Force Awakens parody, and I've yet to follow up on that with its sequels, even if it means having to actually rewatch Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. Can't say I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
So yeah, those are my plans for 2025. It's been quite a year. That's me putting it kindly. Thank you all so much for your support over the past 10 years. It's been a hell of a ride, and finally achieving 1K subs after so long gives me the impression that I've spent all those past 10 years pretty well. I also want to give a quick shout out to the Tropic Morning News AMV, because apparently it's now one of my most viewed videos on the channel. It's even got sponsors now. And it's really surprising to me because I originally made that as a tie-in for my Makoto Shinkai retrospective, but it seems like it's now living a life of its own, and I'm forever grateful for that. I look forward to making more videos this way. Anyways, I'm leaving for Japan in a week, so this will probably be my last video for the year. See you all in the year of Jack Black Steve, everybody. Oninatsu.
Oninatsu!